Hey guys, this is Ibby. Welcome to my channel. I'm inviting you guys to plan along with me for July. This is going to be in my Discbound half letter bullet journal. As you guys can see, our theme this month is going to be a bubble/balloon font, and then mostly stripes. The color for this month is blue. We're going to have some accents, and that's going to be with some stars, some swirls, and a couple drop shadows. So the cover page is actually going to be a Dutch door this month. So I'm just starting by doing my bubble letters in that blue marker for July. And then I am eventually going to realize that I actually need to outline these letters in black for them to pop the way that I want to, so you'll see that in a second. While I'm coloring in these letters, I'm just going to explain what a Dutch door is. It's actually based on those front doors that split in half horizontally, and you can either open the top alone, open the bottom alone, or connect them back together to have a normal full-length door. In the journaling world, it usually involves one set of a 2-page spread and then the second set of a 2-page spread. On the first page spread, you're going to cut out a section of it so that you can see behind it to the section of the second page spread. This kind of just adds more space and a little bit more of a uniqueness to your journal layouts. Now that I'm done coloring in the header for this month, I'm going to use that blue marker to outline where my Dutch door is going to be so that I have a border that matches the spread that's going to be behind it. So I'm going to cut along that border and then fill in any gaps in my blue marker line so that you won't see any white on the first page. Then I am going to bring out my second page and align this Dutch door on top of it and trace along the border with a pencil so that I can make sure the 2 pages align. I'm just going to show you guys the behind the scenes because I wasn't sure exactly how much space I would have for my Dutch door beforehand. So this is me just penciling in the design and the sections for my review, which is what's going to go on this next spread. Now that I have my layout done for my review boxes, I'm going to go through and start on those stripes that are our theme for the month. And because of the placement of the Dutch door, you'll be able to see the stripes when you first go to the cover page, but you won't be able to see the review boxes behind them until you flip to the second page of the Dutch door. On the back of my July cover page is where I am going to write my freestyle reflection for the month. I'm just penciling in that review header and the bubble letters because, again, I didn't know how much space I would have originally because of the Dutch door. Because I'm not going to be coloring in those bubble letters, I am simply outlining them with the blue marker because I don't need it to pop. It's going to pop by itself. And now I am just drawing in those lines for where I'm going to write my review at the end of the month using my blue Sharpie S Gel pen. I forgot to mention, but I am doing all my line work in this blue pen instead of black because it's less contrast against the blue marker. These top boxes are things I want to start, stop, and continue in August, and the bottom boxes are my favorite shows, music, and books for the month of July. We are now moving on to the monthly calendar spread, and for this month we are going to have all of the dates separated by one dot grid box to the left and the right, and then one dot grid box between the top and the bottom, so that my calendar looks like it's floating again. This is similar to March's, except the boxes are much bigger. The spacing for these boxes are 5 dot grid boxes across and then 6 dot grid boxes down, and that's to give myself extra space to write. Because we're not going to color the bubble letters for the days of the week in, we're just going to outline them in that blue Sharpie S Gel and call it a day. Now we're going to go in with the blue marker for the stripes up and down the page. Some of you will notice that I mess up every other line somehow on the bottom half of this page, which I do realize, but I'll come back later to fix that using some extra dot grid paper that I'm just going to glue in. This space on the left is space for my July goals, but I am not going to draw a box around it. I am instead going to stop my blue stripes at a certain point, and the negative space will just infer the box. Alright, now I am going to fix that big old mistake at the bottom of my calendar page. I have cut out the extra bullet journal pages according to the size of that section, and went ahead and drew the correct stripes in before using my glue tape to put the section in to cover my mistake. Now I am doing the other half of my calendar, putting those 6x5 boxes in and outlining my bubble letters in the blue Sharpie S Gel, and then going in with my blue marker to do my stripes throughout the page. There is going to be another floating box section in that bottom right corner that I am going to reserve to put in information for things that are coming up in August. So I am now moving on to the brain dump section. I'm just going to be doing a 2-month spread with these big boxes so that I have space to do my notes. At the end of June, I realized that I was not using as many of the notes pages that I made for the month. and also that I wasn't enjoying the task system that I had used in my previous videos for the previous months. And so this month I'm just going to be listing my tasks somewhere in these two boxes. That way I have a 2-for-1. Because I am coloring in the bubble letters for this brain dump header, I am outlining them in my black marker before I go back in with the blue to color them in. And because of the amount of color on the header for this spread, I am just doing simple drop shadows on this brain dump page for now. We are now moving on to my media spread. It's once again a 2-page spread because I have been consistently filling out these 2 pages. It is the same format. I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's going to be a staple. I haven't seen anything new that I might want to try out for my media tracking yet, unless I get a whole new media journal, but I'm not ready for that yet. The layout and design for this spread is nearly identical to the brain dump page. We just have those extra columns for the title, form, star rating, and week of the month, and completion dot added into the large box. Now we are moving on to my 2-page spread that normally hosts the habits on the left and my gratitude on the right. But I'm switching the sides this month to see if it'll be easier to write my 1 line a day on the left, just with how my Discbound journal is laid out. Last month's boxes made me realize I like having a straight line so I don't have to fit certain words into the box to make everything fit. So we're back to 1 line a day, which made me change the heading from my gratitude log to 1 line a day just because I needed to change. In addition to that change, I have added a column on the left where I am going to put the initial for the day of the week along with the date of the week, and then I drew lines to separate the weeks out. That way it would be easier for me to keep up with what day I'm on and making sure I don't cross my gratitudes for the days. The second line highlight is also to help me stay on track. We are moving on to my habits. I was tired of drawing boxes and or writing the numbers for the dates multiple times, so we are going to simplify my habits into a simple list format. The titles of my habits are going to go under my habits header, which I am drawing in at the moment. And then to the right of that header are going to be the days of the week with their accompanying dates. And I am just going to go along the line and mark with an X whether or not I completed that habit for the day or leave it blank if I didn't. The second line highlights are to keep me on track. Moving on to our weeklies for this month. They are all actually going to be 1 week on 1 page because of the way that the weeks break down and because I'm starting on a Monday start. So there are going to be 5 days So week 1 is going to be a 2x3 box setup, with one of the boxes being for the to-do, and then the rest of the boxes are for the rest of the days of the week planning. I am going to go around my days with a black marker to give that bubble theme to the pages. Week 2's layout is going to be a 2x4, so I have a total of 8 boxes. Again, one of them is going to be for my to-dos, and the rest of them are going to be for the days of the week. Because of the size of these boxes on week 2, I am putting in a small number dates for the days of the week, which is going to be different than what I do for the rest of the month, and that is to save space. But I am doing them across the 2 pages on this spread so that they are symmetrical and balanced. We are now moving on to the spreads for week 3 and week 4. Both of these weeks are going to be 3x3 grids, giving me a total of 9 boxes. That is 7 boxes for each day of the week, and then one of the boxes is going to be for a to-do, and the other is going to be some element of decor. For week 3, the decor is going to be a calendar of how far we are in the month, and then I use the blue marker to mark the days of this week. It is during this editing magic that I realized I put June instead of July in that calendar, so I still have to go back and fix that, but I will get it done. As I said, I want to keep some symmetry across my 2-page spreads, even though there's only 1 week on each page. And in accordance with that, with my bubble letters for my to-do, I also am writing my days of the week in that blue marker and adding in the dates of the week also. But I am separating the days of the week with bubbles and then doing bubbles also for the dates of the week. And I'm doing that same font across both pages. Week 3 is another 5-day week, so I'm doing a 3x2 instead on this page. We're keeping the same font for the days and dates of the week, and then we're also doing a to-do box. This month's weeklies were pretty simple and straight to the point, as long as I didn't mess up the sizes of my boxes. Now I am going back to the beginning to look through my pages and see what I need to add in. First are the dates for the month of my calendar spread, which I of course forgot. I'm also putting in those titles, putting in the titles for the column in my media journals. Going in and sprinkling some stars across multiple pages. The stars on this breakdown page are going to go along the insert seam to keep the page balanced with the blue decoration. I am going to fill in this blank space along the media header with some stars and sprinkle in more stars on this last gratitudes and habit spread. portion on this page, but not to take up the entire spread. Also adding in some stars to give cohesion with the entire month spread. Week 3 and week 4 are going to have those extra stripes be on the outside edges of the spread to have cohesion, but something still really unique compared to last week's. They are also going to get some stars to tie in the rest of this month's theme, and the decor page on the right is going to have some more extravagant stars within the box to highlight that area. This week's spread is going to have the stripes along the top half of the page and then the stars along the bottom half. That's it for our setup. We are now going to insert this onto the discs and do our flip through. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end, please do me a favor and drop your star emoji, your favorite star emoji in the comment section. I know that there are a lot. Mine is what's in the header for this month's video. And I would like to see what y'all got. Thank you all so much for joining me. Y'all have a blessed month of July. Bye.